I remember everything from the first tournament. And it was a great feeling.
My first ever EPT, I went there as a 21-year-old unknown kid, and that propelled me into the man that I am today.
Playing on that big stage, of course, it's my best memory. Just nothing could compare.
It feels amazing, really.
I can't describe it. Unbelievable.
It's an absolute dream.
It's amazing. I can't tell how much it means.
Okay, I'm in the rush. I'm in the zone. Nobody can stop me.
I told this man 3 weeks ago I was going to win this tournament, and I did.
I can't believe that I've won this. This is incredible.
Winning was magical for me.
Got it.
And that changed my world.
First player to win 2 main event titles.
You know, it's really not an impossible dream.
Barcelona, the first ever stop on the European Poker Tour, and now the site of the 100th main event. Today started with a flock of players clamoring for their chance to raise the trophy, and the excitement is building.
This turnout is incredible.
It is crazy here.
Every single event has just smashed records. It's been insane.
Number 100, it's big, it's huge.
It's the biggest ever EPT on European soil, and there's everything to play for. Welcome to the European Poker Tour's centenary celebrations in Barcelona. Yes, EPT 100 is underway.
And this milestone maker is a record breaker with a field of 1,496. We've never seen anything like this outside of the PCA. It's like a One Direction concert in there.
The prize pool is 7.25 million euros. That means the winner will receive 1.26 million plus our 100th EPT main event trophy.
Day 2 is in full swing, but guess what, guys? It's way too early to fold your way to the money.
Well, one player who certainly won't be folding much is Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. EPT 100 is the perfect event to showcase his unique playing style.
The way I play poker, it's creative imagination, and not many people understand what I do, and that's why I keep those secrets to myself.
Joining him on the feature table is local lad and WSOP November 9er, Anthony Larrabe.
It has been an amazing year so far. To be the first Spanish EPT champion, EPT 100, it will be really great.
Headlining the secondary feature table is Daniel Negreanu. Barcelona is his favorite stop on the tour, and he only has his eyes on one thing.
I think before you jump into an EPT main event, you need to be clear on what your intention is. I'm going to go for the win this time.
$848 have fallen, 648 remain, and are taking their seats inside Casino Barcelona.
This is the 100th EPT, and Johnny Lawton's played in like 98 of them. Fabian Quas, Beard. Dear Grinder. Can somebody please help Dan Shack find his seat?
Hope Daniel's shirt is unbuttoned just so he can be mic'd up.
Anthony Larrabe is part of this year's Noviembre Nueve. There's the Grinder. My guess is he's already trying to race.
Well, he is the table chip leader. To his immediate left is the second biggest stack, former EPT champ Davide Katai. There are 2 locals on the main stage, and cover your heart, in seat 5, it's Cop Lima. Action underway on the PokerStars.com EPT. Blinds 600-1200 with a 200 ante.
Now's when the real poker starts.
Action on Zo's post. He folds under the gun. Pavel Placev, he mucks. Grinder raises with King 8 suited.
Grinder never saw 2 cards he didn't like.
Davide Katai with 9-10 of spades.
Katai's almost as much a wild card as Grinder. He just takes longer to do it.
He calls. Action now on Sam Phillips from the USA. And he calls from the hijack with ace-jack.
Sam could have probably just jammed there. Ace-jack doesn't flop super well, and there's tons of chips out there already.
Jack 4 for Steven Castrillon. He folds the small blind.
You want to go all in?
Tempting, tempting.
Grinder would have called.
Marco Koplimar has queens in the big blind.
Oh boy. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
He's re-raising. It's a 3-bet to 10,200.
This should look pretty strong into 3 opponents. Really doesn't look very squeezy at all. Also, it's really small.
Grinder calls.
In general, I'd say this isn't recommended, but Grinder's got a style all his own. Kind of like being a one-liner comic. It makes you groan, but it works for him.
Katai folds. And Phillips also passes.
Just one fish.
One fish, one overcard.
Heads up to the flop, which sees Grinder pair is 8. Koplimar still way ahead with queens.
Well, good job getting Sam Phillips to fold.
A C-bet of 8,500.
So if Grinder was calling with King 8 pre-flop, what do we think he's going to do with second pair, second kicker on the flop?
He calls.
By the way, I'm not sure C-bet's always mandatory there. Against Grinder, maybe.
The turn card. It's a king. Grinder now with 2 pair and a 95% favorite.
Must be nice, buddy. What's it like? What's it like to just always get there?
16-5.
Koplimar betting again.
All in.
Grinder shoves.
Not so sure about Koplimar's bet. I don't know what he thinks he's going to get called with twice that he's ahead of. Some people like to play small ball. Some people like to play big ball. Grinder is a big ball.
Koplimar folds.
Grinder looking for a hero call from a single ace.
Where's the bluff cards? No.
Grinder referring to Shark Cage. He played in one of the heats here in Barcelona.
How does it feel to make a reference nobody gets? I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
Grinder now playing a stack of nearly 257,000. He is now the tournament chip leader. There's a couple of former champs in the top 10, Finger and Panker, and sandwiched between them, EPT 10 Player of the Year, Olashemian. Over at the secondary feature table, Daniel Negreanu is facing a raise from Emil Matson.
And this is someone who does like to work the small ball. So when he 3-bets, it almost always means business.
Yeah, a rare re-raise from Daniel.
Like that?
No, it's okay.
All right.
Alfonso Amendola folds the big blind.
22 behind?
21. No, 21, 6 after that. So not a lot, but, you know, a decent amount. Could hurt a little if you're wrong, right?
I would be real careful about 4-bet jamming on Daniel with 10s. He's light less often than a woman's handbag.
He does move all in, and Daniel calls.
Got pairs?
Just the one.
Oh, good news for me so far.
Matson's got a way better chance of finding a 10 out on the beach here in Barcelona than he does of one hitting the board.
A decent flop for Daniel. He's now a 9-1 favorite. Just as to fade, a 10 on the river. And he will double up.
Woo! 4 across. 29-2.
Pretty much any hand Daniel would have 3-bet would have won on that run out.
Yeah. He's rooting for me? Nice. Thanks, buddy. I'll give you a piece.
Piece of what?
Daniel's first ever EPT was here in Barcelona in Season 4. He is now a stalwart on the tour, as is this man.
If Olashemian were an F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, he'd be the great Swagsby. Akari is definitely my favorite player whose name sounds like a video game system, other than Larry Blintendo.
We've got some newcomers to the EPT, including this guy from the US of A.
Look at the service here in Europe. Only 19,000 euros for a coffee, though. Well, actually, it was 4 euros, which is like $5 American. But it's definitely, I think it's better than Dunkin' Donuts, though.
Most of you won't get this, but after that comment, Ronnie, now no longer able to enter the state of Massachusetts. And if you haven't seen him get bluffed on Shark Cage yet, go watch it. Put this on pause and go watch it.
Back to the feature table, where Michael Mizrachi is under the gun with pocket fours. He raises to 2,600.
Grinder, having gone through the motion of looking at his cards, raises.
Action folded around to Anthony Larrabe, who's got tens.
7.
He's 3-betting.
Lol if he thinks Grinder folds to 3-bets. Also, he's got a 3-bet bigger. You gotta punish the guy who always calls the 3-bets.
Castrillon in the cutoff. Folds. It's Koplamar's button. He passes. Post and Placev give up the blinds.
Michael never passes.
It's so cute how he's talking European.
Grinder calls. Heads up to the flop. Which sees Grinder flop a set.
And he's gonna lead. I love Grinder.
And he leads really small.
Not only is this bet out of flow, but it's also for fewer chips than your girlfriend steals off your plate when she says she doesn't want to order her own. You know they do that.
85.
Larrabe raises.
I only like this raise if you're prepared to get it in when Grinder blasts off, because you can only be hoping he tries to bluff you with worse.
I don't believe that face.
There's a 3-bet to nearly 16K.
Something you did over here. I thought you were bluffing. Careful.
I don't think his English is good enough to realize what a ridiculous shtick this is.
All in, call.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That was like out of a movie and not a very good one.
Larrabe at risk. And way behind.
The worst part is you knew you shouldn't have done it, and you done it anyway.
7.
Wow.
I'm not saying nothing else. You got a lot.
10 outs for Larrabe. A jack 10 or 6 saves him. It's a jack.
Oh, what a waste of a perfectly terrible acting job. Like Samuel L. Jackson in The Phantom Menace.
Larrabe up to nearly 95,000.
What's Spanish for suck out?
Grinder's taking it in his stride. You could experience dramatic moments like that yourself. You could qualify for a European Poker Tour event at PokerStars.com.
All right, let's go.
What is this?
James, I'm not your typical ignorant American. I like to fit in.
Fit in where exactly? We're not going to a My Chemical Romance concert.
You said we were going to the Goth Quarter.
No, Joe, I said we were going to the Gothic Quarter.
So you're saying no goth chicks?
No goth chicks. Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona main event. It's EPT 100, with 565 players remaining in this record-breaking field. And the season has just begun.
It's the 100th EPT. It's the biggest main event on European soil. Poker's growing a lot in Europe, and everyone's pretty excited about the EPTs.
Every tournament that I show up to, there are more and more people. There's fresh faces, people you've never seen before. The field sizes and the first prize are just getting bigger and bigger.
Every language is being spoken, and I just love that. I love the multiculturalism of the European Poker Tour.
EPT 100. You know, I knew poker was an old game, but 100 years, that's a lot. How did we log the hole cards back then?
I'm going to ignore him. Blinds are up to 800, 1600, and we are going to pit our wits against Grinder. We're going to play a hand from the perspective of Pavel Placev. He's raised with ace-10, and it looks like Grinder is 3-betting.
I don't want to play against Grinder. If I did, I would actually play poker.
The blinds are folded. Back around to Placev.
You're never folding here, right?
Not against you. Against a lot of other people, maybe. I like a just call here. Even though we're out of position, if Mike's got a bad hand, we want to let him hang himself.
Placev does call. The flop is King 4 Deuce, Rainbow. Placev checks.
I think we have to check call since Mike can have any too. I honestly don't know what to do though if he bets every street we don't improve. That's the danger here.
Grinder's C-bet is 5,100. And there's the call from place of.
And we might have to call all the way now.
9.
How does he do this?
What is he doing?
Place of checks a second time.
Like I said, I think we have to check call again, but I really hope he doesn't bet that much.
Not too bad, 8,200.
Right, and now that has me suspicious. I like calling again here just because Mike's such a wild card and will always bet when he's got nothing and sometimes not bet when he's got something.
Place of folds.
It's harder to play somebody they call cards, right? Cards. Yeah, it's harder to play against somebody like that.
Grinder had ace-7. Place of had the best hand.
Oh, man.
Understandable fold, but if we were gonna fold then, we should have folded on the flop.
How do you think I win?
Oh, I don't know, bet constantly with junk and always get there when you get called down. If you could write a book on it, it would be an all-time bestseller.
Grinder's still a monster stack and among the notable names faring well on day 2. Lots of former champs in the field, including Martin Finger and Robin Ulatalo. Daniel Negreanu hovering around 39 big blinds below the tournament average. He's involved in a 4-way pot at the secondary feature table.
There's a lot of people in this pot. And how is it that this many people missed this hard? It's like an internet comment section.
Marcello Fonseca has a flush draw, and he bets 7,200.
He's got just about as much equity as anyone, except for this guy.
Daniel currently has the best hand. He calls.
Good instincts there.
So heads up to the river, which is a queen. Top pair for Daniel.
Fonseca's missed, and this would be a terrible card for him to bluff at. It should seem pretty clear to Daniel that the flush draw's missed.
He's about to make the mistake of trying to bluff Daniel Negreanu.
Ow, wow, wow, wow. So much, damn it. Too much money, but you have so much money. Maybe you're just goofing around. What do you got? 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 Okay.
Don't forget, Daniel loves calling like a teen loves selfies.
What do you have? So, deuce 3-8. You bet 7-something thousand. What the heck? Well, you wouldn't do that with a deuce, would you? Maybe. Make it 27 before. Feels like too many possible bluffs in your range. You know.
Feels like Daniel's gonna call.
He calls.
Got it. What do you want to pay 7?
Like the queen. Yes, 10-7 spades.
What were you thinking about, buddy?
Well, you know, he's either bluffing or he's got me beat.
I don't think it was a slow roll in the slightest. At least when Daniel tanks, he talks out loud so we're not all bored to frickin' tears. What do y'all think? Tag your tweets, EPT 100.
Well, from one chatterbox to another.
Ronnie Barta versus Jesse Pinkman.
How much? 33?
It's actually Andre Latau from Germany who's raised Ronnie's big blind.
Ivy would call.
Huh?
Ivy would call.
Ivy would call? Would Ivy raise? No, you just call, right?
It's raising again.
Well, not too many chips to raise. You know, I'm kind of short.
That's not what Sarah Shavak says. Burn. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Double burn.
I'm all in.
Ronnie shoves.
I told you, I mean, I told you, I like my hand. Ivy would have played it wrong. Ivy would have probably would have played that the same way. Gotta keep these other Euros in check sometimes. Gotta give one pot to the Americans once in a while. You know?
Ivy might have played it the same way, but he wouldn't have played Shark Cage the same way. Triple burn.
Across the room, Liv Burry is all in.
I am sure I am miles behind, but I'm shining bright like a diamond, so...
Liv Bo Rihanna.
Ace Queen against the Queens of Matt Schoblom.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Lives out.
Good game, guys. Thanks, son.
Olivia.
She won EPT 6 San Remo, which was the biggest EPT event in Europe until this one.
Sick brag.
Well, another former champ is in action, and in better shape than Liv. Dimitar Danchev with a better 2-pair than Massimo De Chico.
Seems coolery enough.
And he eliminates De Chico, who was the runner-up in Prague in Season 5.
De Chico. My name is De Chico. What, nobody's seen Coneheads?
Dimitar Danchev, up over 142,000.
He's my 4th favorite Bulgarian player, but my 6th favorite PCA winner.
He won the PCA main event in 2013. 12 months later, it was Dominik Panka who won the title, shooting to #1 on the Polish all-time money list.
My 7th favorite PCA winner.
Martin Jakobsen is #2 on the Swedish all-time money list. He could go to #1, depending on how he runs at the World Series of Poker final table in November. The other November niner left in the field is at our feature table, where the action's been folded to Pavel Plesov. He folds. Do you reckon Grinder's folding?
Nope. I once saw Grinder try to raise with 2 sub-sandwich loyalty cards from under the gun.
5-3 of clubs, he makes it 3,300. Pocket 8 for Francisco Perez. He's got just over 20 big blinds.
Shove seems fine, especially over the top of Grinder.
He's all in. And he's walked into aces.
How much?
Larrabe just asked how much, but what he's really thinking about is Vegas and the bleeping Mirage.
He calls.
Really hoping Grinder comes along for the ride.
Koplimar in the big blind. Folds.
Will we finally see Grinder fold? Yes!
So, Perez at risk and way behind his fellow countrymen.
It's amazing. Even though Grinder folded, he still found a way to get Perez busted, probably.
I had the best hand. Maybe after the river. Big favor. I'm big favor to win. Big favor now. 3-5 of clubs. For sure it's coming.
I wish I could say I disagree.
Perez needs an 8. The turn card is a 3.
I told you. 100%. River deuce. I saw it. God. Deuce of spades, probably. Deuce of spades.
This is absolutely rishnefulous. What is happening out there? It's Mike, this psychic Mizrachi.
Told you. Deuce of spades.
Meanwhile, Anthony Larrabe has taken out one of the other Spanish players at the table.
I am Andoni Larrabe, 22 years old, from Spain. It has been an amazing year so far. As soon as I knew that I was one of the November 9s, I just went on a crazy party. To have to wait to the final table, I don't really enjoy it, to be honest. Maybe people will think that it's fun to wait for the final table. For me, I just want to play the final table, try to play as best as I can, but even if I don't win it, it's gonna be a great year poker-wise, that's for sure. Now that I'm one of the November 9s, it was funny to come back because it's different. Now everybody knows me here in Barcelona, asking me questions, what I'm doing, how it was. It was a lot of fun. To win the EPT 100, it will mean a lot. It will be really great to win a main event. I don't know if the home country advantage counts a lot, apart from the fact that maybe if you get very far, you will have more support. So we will see what happens.
If this kid's lucky enough to suck out on Grinder, I'm not at all surprised he's a November 9er. He'll probably win it.
Well, someone who's no stranger to World Series final tables is Daniel Negreanu. He's got pocket 10s here. There's been a raise and a call in front of him.
Daniel's not always 3-betting 10s, but in this situation, he might with the intent of getting it in.
Raise.
There's a 3-bet to 8,200. Mattson sitting there with ace-king and fewer than 20 big blinds.
Don't see him folding this. And what the heck was Di Francesco doing calling with 9-7 of diamonds, leaving himself just 10K behind?
Joe, they're suited.
Oh my God, how did I miss that? Any day now, buddy.
Mattson's all in. What does Di Francesco do now?
Come on, gamble, gamble. Attaboy.
He calls all in. So 2 players at risk. Daniel has the best hand and he has both his opponents covered.
Good luck, everybody. I got your hand.
Okay, turn them up. Both of them slow roller.
DiFrancesco looking for diamonds, Matson looking for an ace or a king. DiFrancesco pairs his 9, Matson takes the lead.
Something for everyone except Daniel, nothing for him.
Hearts not working for Daniel. Matson has the ace of hearts. Well, an 8 on the river gives DiFrancesco a straight.
Of course 9-7 gets there.
My baby.
So DiFrancesco triples up, and Matson wins the side pot against D-Nex.
Daniel's not the kind of guy to freak out there. I would have spent 6 years learning to speak Italian and then berated him in front of his children. What would you do?
The hashtag to use is EPT100.
See the angels coming out the wall there? Up there! From the medieval era.
Oh
that
my
probably
God.
is a relatively modern addition.
How many balconies? And it certainly doesn't have any angels. In fact, some of it's even older than that. Some of this dates back to the Roman era, which, if you think about it, is pretty amazing.
Cool. That must explain why cell reception's so bad.
She hasn't texted you, and she never will.
Yeah, she might. I just have to find 3G here somewhere. I got it. She didn't text though.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona main event. In honor of EPT 100, we decided to test if some of the regular players on the tour can recognize previous main event champions.
Let me see what cards they won with.
It's an American. You see a Frenchman?
Pocket 8, so it's some sort of normal player.
These are so hard.
Okay. It is.
I'm betting everything I have on Johnny Lawden.
He's never won an EPT.
Well, luckily I'm already in crippling debt.
Stay watching, friends. We'll reveal the answer later. Blind still 8 and 16. And action at the feature table is on Marco Koplemar with ace-4.
Steven Castrione loves Flappy Bird. New high score.
Koplemar raises to 3,500. Folded around to Grinder in the big blind.
Oh, Michael. You know, I once saw Michael play a hand with a deuce and a SIM card.
He calls, heads up to the flop.
So you never fold? I never fold. Especially to you, no.
It's not personal.
Mizrachi pairs his 5, 2-pair for Koplemar.
Now Koplemar's really hoping you never fold.
Grinder checks to the Estonian. Who's continuing for 3,600.
So far, so good for this kid.
There's the call from Grinder. Oh, Grinder improves to 2-pair, but he's still a 9-1 dog.
Best turn ever for Koplemar.
Grinder now leads for 8,000.
I kind of like a raise here. The problem is he probably knows Grinder led with a set before, so maybe he doesn't want to get too nuts.
He just calls. The river. Here's another 8. Grinder rivers a boat.
This is beyond hilarious. How does he do this? Also, how does he not win every tournament? And you still love him.
He bombs it.
Really?
More than 30K.
You have it? As long as you don't got it, then I got it.
Not to rep.
Huh?
6-7. I'm 6-7. I'm not folded yet.
You will.
So you wanted me to call.
No, I want you to raise. Look how confident I look.
You always have a nuts when you bet big.
I know.
Always. Almost always. Maybe not this time.
No, he does.
Good fold.
Nice, bro. You want to see it? I don't know if you want to see it. All right, you don't want to see it. It's pretty ugly.
And for the second time today, Koplemar gets grinded.
I love this guy. Is that bad? Negreanu.
The reason I got the Grinder nickname was when I needed an online screen name. I thought it suited me well. I was always playing a lot of limit hold'em, a lot of mixed games, and more of a conservative style. When I started playing tournaments, people were like, how is this guy called the Grinder if he's exactly the opposite? I can't believe the field size. I mean, a staggering field of almost 1,500 players. It's just amazing. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And to win something like this would be quite an accomplishment for me. Outside of poker, I have a lot of great ideas, like our poker dealer school, Mizrahi Dealer Academy. Just give people a job opportunity to make lots of money without an education. We don't guarantee you a job, but almost all our dealers got a job after attending our school. I just felt like I wanted to be my own boss, and I've done a great job so far. I'm even that good at calling cards. I called quite a few cards today.
Grinder also used to own a chain of cash for gold stores. Story checks out.
Over at the secondary feature table, Daniel Negreanu is all in.
14,800.
Same situation.
Yeah, same play. And you, sir, would you like to play for 14,800?
He does.
Or would you like to play for more? Less is not an option. Yes, he does. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
I have king high.
Daniel's dominated.
Oh, shoot. You have king high. I was hoping you had ace high. Bad spot for me, but I guess I need to catch a 7. Or some clubs. Is that a club?
No.
Oh, that didn't help me at all. That's bad news. That'll do it.
Daniel drawing dead on the turn.
Why weren't you slow coming back from the bathroom? Everybody else was. Perfect spot. If he had it. All right. Good luck, guys. Take care.
Oh, Daniel never did button up that shirt.
And Mattson wins that pot by having a really, really big bladder. Man, I wish I could have Daniel's attitude when I bust from a poker tournament, or Daniel's money, or even just like his watch.
Other members of Team Pro hitting the rail include Johnny Lodden and Alex Kravchenko. Meanwhile, over at Ronnie Barda's table, he has been 3-bet by Sergei Popov. And he is all in. Ronnie with 4s, Popov with jacks.
Popov gets a treat.
Ronnie Barda needs a 4.
And?
Nice try.
No. Nice playing with you guys. Appreciate you guys all watching me blinding out this tournament. Very nice of you.
Could have been worse, Ronnie. You could have folded trips.
Oh.
Take care. Good luck. Good luck.
Quadruple burn?
Yeah, what am I going to do with my life now? Is there? I'll look at the schedule, yeah. Get something to eat.
Ronnie Barda will join Daniel Negreanu on the rail.
Anytime you get to 100th anything, especially with television shows or something like that, it's a milestone. And with poker, to have the 100th be such an amazingly big field, it's just impressive. And it's just something you look back at and go, wow, amazing. I'm going to really enjoy the city. I'm going to maybe take a wine tour, do the touristy thing, get on one of them buses, and be one of those people, with a camera around my neck. Like that.
Daniel Negreanu, tourist.
While a few Team Pros remain, including Jan Heitman and Andre Akari, we have a new chip leader, Tobias Roa, but Martin Finger is hot on his heels. And Finger has gone to the turn in a hand against Nicholas Cardin.
Finger called out of the hijack, so I think this board is going to hit his range pretty hard.
He's bet 18,000. Cardin calls. The river is the 4 of spades.
Shouldn't have affected things too much.
Cardin checks.
And I think Finger will bet a queen in probably all of his bad hands here.
He checks behind. Cardin has ace high, Finger has a 9.
Martin could have bet the river, but he was probably afraid of hands like jacks or 10s.
Well, Martin Finger won his EPT title in Prague back in Season 8. Mike McDonald won Dortmund in Season 4. He was nearly our first ever two-time champ, but was denied that achievement by Dominic Panka, the reigning PCA champion.
Skynet has been rebooted.
Meanwhile, EPT 10 London winner Robin Ulatalo is going to the flop against the EPT 10 Player of the Year, Ola Shemian.
So it's champ of EPT London versus champ of EPT Swagden.
A King 9-4 flop. Shemian checks. Ulatalo checks behind. Board pairs on the turn. Shemian bets 5k.
Could be picked up a flush draw, could be any pair lower than a 9.
Well, he gets called. The river is the Jack of Spades. Shemian checks.
Well, probably wasn't the flush draw.
13-8.
Ulatalo bets.
This would be a pretty tough call for any pair. Right now, Ulatalo is saying he can beat at least a king.
Shemian folds.
SpongeBob Swag Pants.
Robin Ulatalo adds 16,500 to his stack. Up to 152,500. Let's head back to the feature table in the EPT arena. Blinds currently 1,000, 2,000 with a 300 ante. Patrick Poterek has just joined the lineup on the main stage. He folds.
4,000.
Anthony Larrabe raising with ace-king. Round to Grinder in the small blind, and he calls with 6s.
Come on, Grinder, come at me, bro.
Pocket 5s for Davide Katai.
Should be a pretty easy just call.
Sure enough, so 3-way to the flop. Grinder still has the best hand.
Everybody misses. Okay.
Grinder leads for 6,000. Gets a fold from Katai.
This is the kind of donk lead that's going to get worse hands to fold and better ones to call. Granted, ace-king is one of the few worse hands that will call.
Heads up to the turn. It's a 5. Would have been a set for Katai. As things stand, Larrabe has picked up the nut flush draw and a gut shot straight draw.
And Grinder's now checked, figures he won't get Larrabe to fold the spade draw, and he's right.
It goes check, check, and both players river a flush. Larrabe's his best. Grinder checks again.
Larrabe's got a bet.
15,000.
And he might bluff at this sometimes, so...
Grinder calls.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. I never understood that, though, because whose house is near a sword?
So Larrabe's still in with a chance of becoming our first ever Spanish champion. Speaking of champions, time to reveal our silhouetted winner in the EPT Guess Who quiz.
Okay, I have no idea. Jason Mercer.
I still have no idea.
Ben Wolinovsky?
Toby Lewis. I don't know.
Is it Bertrand Gropillier?
That should be me, probably.
That's Elke.
That's Elke. That's Elke. I got that one.
Really? He looks fat. I would have said over 50 for that silhouette.
I'm really bad at this, apparently.
You know, I have to admit, the Gothic Quarter is actually pretty cool.
I think the Jewish quarters around here somewhere as well.
There's Spanish Jews?
Yes, Joe, there are Spanish.
Oh my God, you know what I just thought of? Pastrami burritos.
We're still not in Mexico.
You had me at shalom.
321 players remain here on day 2 of the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona main event. And don't forget, Joe, we are looking for an online qualifier for this tournament.
Ooh. You know, I have a wide variety of dating apps we could use if that helps.
I'll take a pass. Every event we find a player who won their seat online who we can support and cheer on to victory. Or at least a min cash. Grinder, with ace-4 on the button, raises.
Ah, good old Grinder, never lets us down.
Katai folds to the small blind. Sam Phillips in the big blind. He won his seat online.
Oh, well, maybe him then. You know, I like this call from Phillips. You can maybe 3-bet for value against Grinder, but I think there's no real harm in playing it this way.
Both players missed the flop. Action check to the pre-flop aggressor. Grinder continues for 6K.
Sam's not folding this for 1 bet.
He calls. The turn card is the 6 of hearts.
Not a terrible turn.
Both players now have straight draws. It goes check, check.
Grinder getting shineder? That doesn't work.
A deuce. Ace-10 is the best hand.
Well, there is very little reason to bet this, unless Sam is just the absolute sickest value better ever.
9,500.
And it turns out he is the sickest value better ever. Yes?
Which one do you have, Jack 10 or Jack 9?
Grinder calls.
Well, I guess his read of bluff was correct. Thinking that ace-4 was winning, incorrect. Grinder convinced he had a busted draw. Nope.
And Mizrachi's now dropped below 100K. Let's check on one of the tournament big stacks. Martin Finger has gone to the river against Kevin Zumalaga.
Zumalaga sounds like some kind of mythical beast. The dreaded Zumalaga with diamond claws and flaming teeth.
Well, he/it has bet 19,100. Martin Finger calls. Zumalaga shows Queen Jack. Finger with 6s.
Nice call down, and with the great golden arrow dipped in the magical fjords, Prince Finger defeated the great Zumalaga.
A hero call which sees Martin Finger take the chip lead. He's now playing a stack of 479,100. Well, another big stack is Wojtek Rudzika. And he's just bet enough on the river to put Dominik Nitsche all in.
And runner-up for weirdest hair in this hand goes to Wojtek Rudzika. The winner, Dominik Nitsche's face and neck.
Dominik calls, shows kings. Rudzika has a straight.
Got there with the old 10-7 brutal. Run a comb through that thing, jeez.
People in glass houses, Joseph. Well, Rudzika's now the chip leader with more than 500,000, and we're heading back to the main feature table as day 2 of EPT 100 draws to a close.
So sad, I feel like it just started.
Davide Katai folds. Phillips is out. Pocket kings for Patrick Potarek.
Oh, hello. Man, those look nice. I could look at those handsome boys all day. And the pocket kings are good, too.
Nice.
He makes it 5,000. Koplamar has Jack 8 of diamonds.
You can call it this, but
He does call from the cutoff.
It's not bad.
Round to Grinder in the big blind. 8-4 of hearts. Let's go. He calls as well.
Oh, Grinder, you never disappoint me. You know, I've seen Grinder call with 2 literal calling cards before, 5 cents a minute anywhere in the world.
Top pair for Koplamar, bottom pair for Grinder. Potarek's still ahead with his overpair, and the action has been checked to him.
Sweet flop for kings, except that Grinder has outs, so sorry, dude.
Counting out a continuation bet. 9,500, roughly half the pot. Koplamar calls.
Well, how can Grinder fold now? Pot odds, implied odds, live reads, other excuses not to fold. Seriously, though, he should fold. His reverse implied odds are terrible.
He calls. Still three-way as we go to the turn. It's the 5 of clubs. That puts a potential flush out there.
Grinder may have to give this up now.
He checks a second time. Potterek slows down, he checks.
That's very surprising.
And Koplamar checks as well. So river for free. The Queen of Diamonds.
I love Grinder, but for this kid's sake, I hope he doesn't get taken off kings.
Grinder leads for 20,000.
Should actually be a pretty easy call.
Potterek calls. Koplamar faults.
Pair of 4s. Pair of 4s.
On the hand?
Huh? You beat it?
Yeah.
All right, so pair of 4s.
Grinder's a goof. He's not trying to slow roll you with a set of 4s.
Potterek takes a big pot off Grinder, who spewed away most of his chips today.
That's what eventually happens to Grinder. He stops hitting every card imaginable right around the time everybody stops folding to him.
And that will conclude play for the day.
Now, this is going to sound weird, everyone, but these bags are for blood and hair samples.
And because someone out there will unfortunately take you seriously, I now have to state that they're for their chips.
Come on. All right, Grinder, sound it out. There you go.
Arla Shemian and Martin Jakobsen will both be back for day 3.
Swag bags. Martin Finger, he is in, and boy, he might need a couple of bags.
This guy's got more chips than anyone else. Wojtek Rudzika's bagging up 621,000. He'll come into day 3 as chip leader. There are 5 Germans in the top 10, including former champ Martin Finger. But there is no place on the leaderboard for Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. He started the day as a big stack. He ends it as a shorty.
Tomorrow is another day. We have 1,500, 3,000 blinds to start with. And anything can happen. I've seen myself make the final table with 50 chips, so I never give up.
Next time, EPT 100 hits the money bubble. And the pressure is on.
What do you want me to do? There's only 9 people till we make the money.
We have 6 tables with an all-in call.
So who will cash and who will leave with nothing?
Can we start the clock?